Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is another one of my mental health series. This is going to be episode 4. I originally was going to put this section in the last episode, but I realized that my video was getting too long. So here we are. And today I'm going to be talking about bipolar guilt. Now, in the last video, I talked about staying stable and what that takes. And so the hardest part of bipolar, at least for me, I can't speak for anyone else, but for myself, was finding stability, to become stable. That was the hardest part, to get off of that roller coaster, as people call it, and to just be able to sit down within my mind and just take a breather. It was really difficult to get to that place, and I'm really thankful that I made it there. And for anyone that is on this ride, on this journey, know that it's possible. Know that you just need to really communicate with your doctor and be honest with yourself. That is the hardest part, but you need to be honest with yourself to be able to achieve it. Once you have achieved that stability, the really, really hard work starts, because that is when you have a chance to sit down with yourself and recognize the wreckage that has been left in your wake. You start to realize the damage that you have done, and all of that guilt begins to sink in. You realize all of the people that you've hurt, all of the anguish that you have caused, and you have to live with it. You have to recognize that it's there, and you need to make amends as much as you can, but you have to learn to not dwell on it. If I sat down and sat here and just thought constantly about all of the people that I've hurt, all of the things that I have done when I was either manic or depressed, if I had sat and thought about them nonstop, I wouldn't be stable anymore. It would throw me, for sure. So you have to keep moving forward and recognize that you can't go back. You can't change the things that you've done. And that is a really, really hard pill to swallow. So often I look back on things and think, man, I was a shitty person. And I have to live with that. I have to live with things that I've done to people, things that I've said to people, hurt that I have caused. I have to live with that. And that's hard. But, sometimes in mania, you do or say things that you wouldn't ordinarily do, things that are very out of character, and now you have to deal with it. Maybe that means that you are now in jail, or you went to jail, or you're going to court for something. Maybe that means you have fines for something that you did. Maybe that means that you hurt people that are close to you, or that you went down the path of a lifestyle that you didn't actually want. A lot of the time in mania, people try drugs and alcohol, and it doesn't work, and it just further compounds the problem, makes a new problem, makes that cycle even harder to get a hold of. But it's real, and it does happen, and the first step with all of that is to recognize what is going on and make a conscious effort to make it stop. Make a conscious effort to stop and correct the behaviors that you have made. And sometimes when you're in mania, it's almost near impossible. But when you get to that stable state, you can stop it. If it's something that has suddenly become a habit, you can stop it. Whether that means asking for help, going to rehab, paying fines, getting a lawyer, whatever it means. Maybe it's just a million thank you notes and apology letters. Maybe it's flowers to your mom or to a friend or to a loved one. Maybe it's to do something nice for your spouse or your partner, because all too often it's them that get beat up with all of the mania. They are the ones that take the brunt of it, and it's really hard to sit there and look at them in the face every single day and know that you've hurt them, and know that there's nothing that you can do that will take back the hurt you've caused. But you have to move forward. And how do you do that without pretending that what happened didn't happen? So it's hard. So with depression, though, you may have neglected friends, you may have neglected family members, you may have neglected pets. Obviously, chances are you're neglecting yourself in that state. So you have to try to make amends, try to pick up the pieces and show that you're responsible, take good care of yourself, retrain your pets, do what you have to do to get back to a stable state again. And that's hard. It's really hard. It's really, especially if you have children, if they have gone through a period with you when they are most impressionable and you are depressed and you're, missing out on games or practices, you're missing out on concerts or picking them up or dropping them off, you're sleeping all the time, you're, not able to cook for them as much as you want or clean as much as you would want to. You have to pick up the pieces and recognize that you can do better, and help the people around you to recognize that you can do better and that you are better. And with their support, you'll continue to get better. So even if you're not dealing with bipolar disorder, if you're just dealing with the guilt that comes after a really bad depressive state, know that it can get better, and that it may take time for people to recognize that they can count on you again, but that it can happen, and that it will happen if you just keep with it. Stay diligent and don't lose hope, and it will get better. But after both sides, whether you have come off of a manic or a depressive phase, you step back and you look, and you just see everything, and it's like you just are looking at the aftermath of a hurricane. It really does feel like that sometimes. I feel like everybody in my life deserves a medal for sticking around, for enduring what I've put them through. I joked with myself earlier that I need t-shirts for everyone in my life that says I survived Hurricane Megan, because that's how I feel sometimes. Like 3 years ago, I was a hot mess. Years before that, it was worse. So to anyone who has been in my life for a long period of time and endured those periods, thank you for sticking by me, and know that I do really, I really am sorry for anything that I put you through. And I am trying to pick up the pieces and move forward. And I hope that you can recognize that and help me to just move forward and get better, and for our relationships to rekindle. So the biggest thing then is to recognize that some people don't stick around. Some people can't take it, and you can't blame them for it. But you also can't sit there and blame yourself for the rest of your life. You have to pick up the pieces and move on. Sometimes that does mean without people that you loved. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of good relationships with people, and some of those haunt me. And I have to forgive myself and allow myself to move forward with my life. Some days it's hard. Some days all of those things that I've done just replay in my mind, and I have to stop and say, you know what, I can't do this to myself anymore. So know that stability is possible. The guilt that comes with both sides of bipolar disorder is hard, but it is feasible. And if you feel like you can't get through that guilt by yourself, seek help, whether it be a therapist or just a close friend or relative that you can talk to. Maybe it's a clergyman. If you are religious, just know that you're not alone and that things can get better. Believe in yourself and believe in the people that stuck by you. They're with you for a reason. Don't knock that, for sure. Just love yourself. And remember that there is no such thing as a cookie cutter life. Take care.